Simple and Out is the greatest in-out board out there. With the website, simpleandout.com, where you can access your board and make updates from any modern web browser with internet access. But we also have great native apps for phones, for tablets, even for televisions. And today we're going to focus on Simple and Out Desktop, which is our native application for Windows and for Mac. Now, today you're seeing it on my Mac, but the great thing is the interface is the same on Windows. So this video applies to both. So right here, you can see we've started by splitting the interface into two pieces. We have the menu on the left side, and then we have whatever interface we'll be looking at on the right side of the window. The menu on the left also contains your information. So today I'm logged in as Sarah Smith, and my current status is I'm in, working from home. So we show this information to you at all times. One handy trick about our left side menu is you can adjust its size. So if you know that this is the board tab and your information here, you can make it bigger, but you can also make it smaller to maximize the space you have over here on this side. It's pretty great. For now, I'm just going to keep it right about here so we can see what we're doing here. So right now I'm on the board tab, and the board tab over here shows a list view. This is similar to the way the board looks on simpleandout.com. You can see your users. You can easily click to update your user sorting just by clicking on these headers, just like a spreadsheet. You can also do more complicated sorts, which we'll see here in a moment. For now, I'll just keep this sorted by name. Now you can do a search that will search as you type. So for example, if I'm trying to look for Kevin on the board, I can start typing Kevin. And here we see Kevin right here who's out sick today. And so this allows you to quickly find your users no matter how many users you have. Now I'm going to go ahead and click this out. We also have a filter, which you can click. And this will show you some of those advanced sorting. So you can do multi-column sorts. You can filter your users by in and out. So maybe you only want to see your users who are in or only see your users that are currently out. And you can also, of course, restrict your board to only display users in a certain group. So if we only wanted to see, for example, the brokers group. And you can see as I'm manipulating these settings, the Simple and Out board is changing automatically on the fly right behind me. It's pretty great. Okay, I'm going to close this thing here. We also have some more advanced options. So you can adjust the size of the text, the size of the images. You could choose whether or not you want the profile images to show at all. Obviously, you can see if you don't, you just get bigger status indicators. And you can also choose columns. We have the most customizability of our columns of any in-out board we've built to date so that you can choose 2 different data elements per column. So here, maybe I don't want to see groups. Maybe group name isn't very important to me. Maybe I'd rather see the user's phone numbers. I can go ahead and click on phone numbers. I get phone numbers here that I could access at any time right from the board. So that's the table view, but we've also created a really gorgeous card view. And so you can change to the card view right up here using this selector. So if I flip over here, now I'm in a card view. And a card view is very similar to our full screen mode, for example, on simpleandout.com. But it allows you to fit a lot of users in a lot of different ways. Of course, here we have multiple users per row, and we can choose to change that as well. We get the same filtering options and the same searching options, but now we can change the text size and the image size. Again, choose whether profile images show up, but now we can choose how many columns. So maybe we want more columns or less columns to give people more room to breathe. And we can choose exactly which data elements show up. So for example, maybe name and comments, great, but maybe I don't need to know this changed by admin. Maybe I'd instead rather like to see the user's details. So now I can see Vice President of Finance or Sales or CEO in here as well. Maybe I don't need to know the times, so maybe I'll get rid of the times in here. And that is, again, changing on the fly. So based on either our really great list view or our really great card view, what you can do is Simple and Out Desktop is really great to adapt to a lot of different spaces. So it's really good if you want to have a large board here, or maybe I want to show a lot of different columns. Maybe I'll do 4 columns here so I can fit a lot of users onto a big screen. Maybe as people walk by, or maybe I have this monitor pointing out. It's also great for, of course, showing in a very small area. So let's go back to the list view here. And maybe what I'll do is I'll get rid of some of these columns so we have less columns to work with. And then, of course, I can go ahead and make this menu a lot skinnier and maybe get rid of the sidebar. And now simpleandout.com or Simple and Out's app is much smaller so that it adapts for maybe being always on your desktop all day long. So Simple and Out Desktop is built to conform to however you like to see your in-out board. So that's the board. Again, it's maybe the best board we've ever built. But now let's go ahead and look at how you would update your status. So right here, I'm going to click on myself. Maybe if I expand my menu here, just going to click on myself here. And if I make my window a little bit bigger here, we can see this is how I would make updates to my own status. So here, right here, we have the update status where you could change from in to out. And maybe I'm going to be out for the rest of the day. So I'm going to say, well, I'll say I'm at lunch. I can type, hit the send button, and now instantly Sarah Smith is at lunch. Of course, we have access to the same reasons and the same quick picks that we have on all of our applications, including company level quick picks just by toggling right here. And so it's really great to be able to quickly make status updates. And then on the very right here, we have ways for you to see your own past status or see your scheduled statuses and schedule statuses if that is a feature you're using with Simple and Out. So let's finally talk about some of the more advanced features that Simple and Out Desktop allows us to do because we have a native application on our computer. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Settings down here. And there are a bunch of different settings that you could utilize. But the one I'm going to focus on first is automatic updates here. And so Simple and Out can automatically update your status, Simple and Out Desktop can, based on your desktop computer activity. Now we have an entire video dedicated to this, so I won't spend a lot of time on it here, other than to say it's as simple as just flipping a switch to turn it on. And now we're automatically going to be updating our status. Notifications is another great feature. And again, we have an entire video dedicated, in fact, more than one, dedicated to all the ways you can utilize notifications. But for now, let's just look at the fact that you can just flip the switch to enable notifications. And once you have notifications enabled, you'll be able to do things like see notifications when your status is automatically updated, be able to turn on reminder notifications so that administrators can remind you to update your status. You can follow particular users. And so every time a user makes an update, you can automatically see right on your desktop that so-and-so is checked in, so-and-so is checked out. And of course, we have safety notifications, which is an amazing feature to be able to notify you about events that you may choose to care about if people haven't been in or people haven't been out at times or after a period of time that you've indicated. Now, again, reminders, followed users, and safety videos all exist on simpleandout.com, so you can go ahead and see how these features work, but they are built into Simple and Out Desktop, taking advantage of the fact that you have a native applications that can automatically do a lot of the work for you or keep you informed throughout the day as you're using it. So that is Simple and Out Desktop, the best desktop application we've ever built with perhaps the best board we've ever built. And we hope that you love it enough to install it into your Windows taskbar or your Mac dock.